WTOV9 presents the best in high school football. The OVAC WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week.
Good evening and welcome to Harding Stadium in Steubenville, Ohio for tonight's WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week. I'm Bill Phillips along with the coach Ty Fleming and coach here at Harding Stadium in Steubenville, Bellaire and Tuscarwaras Valley. And I'll tell you what, freezing rain, snow, regular rain, drying compound on the field, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. The wind is the key factor tonight, Bill. It'll be interesting to see how the wind affects the Bellaire passing attack. Tusky's not going to throw the ball much right now. Wing T going to line up and try to just confuse Bellaire. But Bellaire needs the wind to die down a little bit. But if not, they'll just hand the ball off, run behind that big offensive line. Bellaire 10-0, a heavy favorite for tonight's game, but it's a new season. Both teams 0-0 on the record slate. What do you think happens tonight? To be honest with you, I think Bellaire should be in pretty good shape tonight to get ready to go to the finals next week of the region. As long as nothing goes wrong. You just never know in a ball game. Like I said, everyone's 0-0. So we're going to find out. Let's get ready to go upstairs and get warmed up and call the game. I was going to say the good news, George Kellis down on the sidelines today. We'll be nice and warm in the press box. George, have fun down here. We'll be back with a kickoff in the lineups right after this. Executive of the week, and coach, we talked about it during the open. The field a little bit wet, and you can see it down there. Well, there's a real good look at it. The guys working the field before putting some some drying compound down on the field, and I don't know. We'll find out if that works. If the weather continues the way it has, it's not going to. The one thing a lot of Big Reds fans are concerned about, the finger of Jose Davis on his passing. Well, this is the second week that he'll have that on there, and it didn't hinder him too much last week, Bill, so I don't look for that to be a big factor tonight, unless he would take, you know, a good shot on it, get it stuck between a pad and a helmet or something. Last week, coach, he just had it taped. He didn't have the extra cushion. This week, he has the extra cushion. Don't know what will affect him. Last week, with the tape on, 228 yards just in the first half. And watching him in pregame throwing, it wasn't affecting him too much. And here we go. Kickoff comes down about the 10-yard line, taken there by Bellaire. And some running room, and out across the 35 to about the 38-yard line, Richie Matarkowski, and he comes up with a big return for Bellaire. Good field position, Davis, Roth, Mamie, Taylor, and Timberlake, your backs and receivers, and your line up front, Adams, Weber, Myers, Green, and Vingia. And, Coach, we have our official window washer from inside. A lot of people in the press box here at Harding Stadium fogging up the windows, but we have our own personal window defoggers. Well, I'm glad they found something for him to do tonight up here with us, Coach Reno. Take a look at Davis rolling near side on first down. He's going to keep it forced out of bounds at about the 41. Came from about 3 on the play on the stop number 26, it looks like, Coach, for the Trojans. Here it is right here. Bellaire coming out, a little play action, bringing Jose to the outside here, and the receivers were covered. And so he just tucked the ball underneath there and picked up a good 3 yards. They're going to bring up second down and 7 now for the Big Reds from their own 41-yard lines. We look at Tusky defense, Bill. Wendell Merrill with the stop up front. That's a look at the defensive front. There's Mamie diving across the 45-yard line. That's about the 46. Let's take a look at the defense again, Coach. Up front, defensive line, Whitling, Smith, Burkhart, Merrill. Merrill had the first tackle of the game. Whitling, Curtis there. A couple of Whitlings on the team. Durr, Conklin, Dubner at the linebackers. Defensive backs, Ragon, Parson, and Salapak. And Salapak is the quarterback as well on offense. And Big Reds right now, 3rd and short. And it looks like they have the first down on the carry. And 3 plays in the first possession, Coach. First 3 plays, all ground. Yes, well, the first one was wanted to throw on the first one, but you know, right now what he wants to do is go ahead and try to get an early score before they get too bad. George, we got on the sideline down there.
Okay, fellas, 2 games I want to tell the fans about that were played earlier this afternoon. They had to delay the St. Albans Capital game an hour in Charleston because the wind blew the goalposts down. And also, we had a forfeit today. Grafton forfeited in the 3rd quarter to Polka because their players got so cold they were suffering from hypothermia. Welcome to November.
Davis rolling near side on first down. Will pump fake, keeps it across the 45, slips down at the 43-yard line. Good gain on first down. It's going to go second and about 3, Coach. So Bellaire setting themselves up nicely twice now Davis hasn't had a man open, but he's been able to run for some good yards on first down.
Take a look here. Real good play action there coming out there. Now he's coming out here wide open. He got the containment broke. And the good thing that Coach Martini right now has his Tusky Valley boys doing is that they're staying with receivers to make Jose beat him on the ground.
Well, Davis came in this year, Coach, after a full season. 66 carries, 299 yards. And Bobby Roth gets the carry down to the 35-yard line on second down. First down, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 35. And right now, Bellaire having their way with it down on the ground.
Yeah, take a look at it right here. Is Bobby Roth going to plow up through the middle there, trying to get his big guard out of the way. That's number 78 there, Jason Myers, and picked up a first down on that play right there. Bob's an awful good, strong runner inside and a key blocker in the Big Red attack.
Conklin on the tackle on second down. On first down, it's Mamie. He dances for about 4 yards. He'll bring up second and long 6. Mamie comes in over 1,000 yards last week. Seth Durr on the tackle. Last week against Martins Ferry. Mamie needed a big game to go over 1,000 yards for the season. He did that. 150 carries, 1,051 yards for the year, 22 touchdowns rushing, 3 receiving, 353 yards catching the football this year. A very potent and well-balanced offensive attack for the Big Reds. Tough snap. Davis makes it look easy, pulls it down, looks for his man, has Taylor, has a first down close to the 25-yard line. And there's the athleticism of Jose Davis. Good concentration, snap high, bobbles it, but brings it in mid-snap.
We've seen the Big Reds in the shotgun formation right here. You see the ball just go up. Jose just tips it to himself, getting himself ready for basketball season here in about a month, Bill.
Answers that question about the
Taylor.
finger.
Yes, sir. There's Ben Taylor wide open. Ben pulls it down and fights ahead for the first down. Draw.
Inside handoff, Mamie. And he's down inside the 20 to about the 14-yard line. And, Coach, the snow has begun to whip again around Harding Stadium here in Steubenville.
Yes, the weather, I believe that's going to play some effect on the Bellaire game plan tonight, Bill, that you're going to see more of a ground game coming out of the Big Reds than what we're used to seeing. And just go ahead and take advantage and let them work on their offensive blocking up front, because if you're going to plan on winning the state title here in Ohio, you better be able to run the ball on the ground. And the Big Reds is a good time to go ahead and get some work done that way.
Timberlake and Taylor split, handoff, up, ball's loose, Trojans have it. It's a first down for Tusky Valley. The turnover, Davis, and ball just came loose, and it looks like we might register a sack for a sack. Andrew Smith coming up with a loose ball. Kroger Food and Drug sack for a sack. Salvation Army will get $50 worth of groceries from Kroger Food and Drug. We take a look at it again here, Coach.
Right here.
Play action, and there's the play. Breaking through with Smith, wrapped him up, bounced out of there, and there's your recovery, and that's Merrill, number 26, on the recovery of the fumble, and the Trojans get the first break of the game, and that's something, if you're Tusky Valley, you're looking for. Something
definitely.
To get a stop on their first offensive possession of Bellaire, and then to get the ball back, you're looking pretty good.
And right here, something that Dave's going to have to do all night long, and that's just keep the ball out of Bellaire's hands by picking up the first down with this wing T offensive there. Bill, to take a look at the offense for Tusky Valley.
Delapec, Merrill, Durr, Addy, Armstrong, Parson up front. Burkhart, Whitling, Conklin, Whitling, and
second down, short 7.
We'll take a look at the defense from Bellaire in just a moment after the next play. Second down and 7 for the wing T offense of the Tusky Valley Trojans. It brings back memory, Coach.
Oh, I'm sure it does. Pull back up the middle. Wendell Merrill, big number 26 for him, talking there with Coach Martini for the ball game. He was really concerned to be able to move the ball against that big front line of Bellaire. Take a look at the Bellaire defense.
Kinder, Sechrest, Weber, and Myers up front. Linebackers, a group of good ones, Taylor, Allen, Roth, and Mamie. And the secondary looks like it's going to be coming up and playing run support most of the night, Coach. A solid one against the pass, but against the run, they should be able to come up quickly. Salapak looking to throw, tucks it. Looks to step inside, dives across the 30. Ball came loose. Don't know if they'll whistle him down or not.
Yes,
but it'll bring up 4th down, 4th and 1 for the Trojans.
One thing there that Zach Salapak, you're going to notice right here as he goes off the field, he's only 5'5", Bill, and he's going to have a hard time seeing over some of those big Bellaire linemen coming at him right there. As he go to make the pump action right there and then brought it down. Dove forward trying to extend the ball out past the yard marker, but the official marked his knee down there.
Along with Timmy Marling.
Like Matterkowski and Marling back deep for the Big Reds as Jerry Conklin will punt.
Line drive kick and hit immediately, but stepping out of the tackle, Matterkowski across the 45, out to about the 47. That's where Bellaire will take over their second possession. We're going to take a break. Schwartz Homes Incorporated scoreboard, 0-0. Tusky Valley and Bellaire with 5:57 to go in the first quarter. And welcome back to the game of the week. Schwartz Homes Incorporated scoreboard, 0-0. Davis back to pass. Running out of time, runs and rolls to the far side, throws back across his body. It goes incomplete. Dusty Kinder, the intended receiver. Good coverage from the Trojans. 3 defensive backs and linebackers in position to make the play.
And again, Jose had the containment broke out there and chose to go ahead and make the throw instead of picking up the 5 to 6 yards, which he was guaranteed if he tucked the ball down and run. Jose is going to find, I think, tonight that he may have to do more running than he's used to. George?
Well, fellas, Jose may not be quite as crisp as he has been during the course of the regular season because he has not taken snaps in practice all week with that broken pinky finger.
Davis back to pass, looks downfield to the outside for Kinder. Makes the catch with one hand, but they'll roll him out of bounds. Says he didn't get the foot down. Nice catch by Kinder, though. Just reaches up there with the right hand, sucks it in, but didn't get the foot down.
We'll take a look at it right here and see if we can see his feet coming down there. There it is. And that foot is across the line.
Good catch, though.
Good heck of a catch. One-hander bringing it down. 3rd down and 10 now for Bellaire from their own 47-yard line.
5:29 to go, first quarter, no score. Davis to pass again. Good protection as Taylor tries to spin out of the tackle at the 45-yard line. He'll be stopped. It'll bring up 4th and about 3, and Bellaire will send down the punting unit. And Coach, Bellaire's had the ball twice. They're 3 and out here. They've moved it, but they haven't been able to sustain it.
Right here, Ben Taylor running a curl, and I thought he was going to pitch this ball here to Bobby Roth, who was coming right there behind him, and Ben didn't notice Bobby coming there, but it might have been kind of dangerous anyway. As we look now at Eric Baratti going to kick it away.
The wind just pushes it down at the 25-yard line. It'll roll and be down at the 19. So Tusky Valley holds. They'll get the ball back. They'll take over at their own 19-yard line. And this, I would imagine, Coach, 4:45, and not that you expect Bellaire to come out and score on their first possession of every game, but last week against Martins Ferry, first play, they came out and scored from 78 yards away. But Dale Martini has to be excited for his team. It's going to be a confidence booster.
Yes, it is. This is talking down there with Dale for the season, or for the game. This is his 3rd season there at Tusky Valley, and this is their 3rd straight year at 8-2, and he's real glad to be here in the playoffs. But like he said, you know, their goal is to come in here and win the ball game, not just to be here. Crossbuck action in the backfield. That looks like big number 44 driving ahead there.
Septor, he comes up with a good game, close to first down yardage. He'll pick up about 9. 1,019 yards on the season for that young man. Seth with a good year.
Take a look at it right here. You're going to see just the crossbuck there with the fullback coming in there, filling for the pull-in tackle. And Dorr just following him up through there. That young man was an all-state performer last year, billed a linebacker and got shoved in the tailback spot when their starting tailback, Ryan Lundenberger, went down with a broken hip in the 3rd game of the season this year.
And off Durham, he's going to get the first down. Check that. It looks like it's Merrill.
Yes.
Number 26, Merrill. Wendell Merrill, the fullback. And picks up the first down.
As we take a look at it right here, you see the guard being trapped in there for me, and they get that Bellaire 4 defense. And talking with Coach Magistro this week, he was concerned by not being able to simulate this offense in practice. This wing T, Bill, you know, you said you ran it in high school, and you're familiar with it. They're going to be diving that fullback straight ahead all night long and bringing that halfback and that wing back on that crossbuck action and trying to confuse them linebackers of Bellaire.
And off Everhart. Cuts it back in, but not much going on as Roth came in from his linebacker position from behind the play and made the stop after a short gain. Second down and long. One of the things you don't want to do in the wing T is get yourself in long situations on second down.
You're taking a look at it right here as both guards are pulling out there for him on this play, and that's number 24 running the ball out there for Tusky. That's Ben Everhart. And good stop by Bobby Ross, stopping for a 1-yard gain. Second down and 9 from their own 31-yard line.
Zalapak under center, second down and 9, 2:50 to go, first quarter. Scoreless ball game, Bellaire and Tusky Valley. And Zalapak to throw, looks for the fullback, and he has him, Merrill. He spins out close to the 38-yard line. It'll bring up third and about 4 for the Trojans.
That's the type of passing we're probably going to see out of Tusky Valley tonight, Bill. As Coach said, they're not really a throwing ball club. They're a running ball club, and everything will be this kind of passing attack or just play action and trying to confuse the linebackers of Bellaire and getting those backs and their tight end into the curl zones for 8 to 10-yard patterns.
He's going to be stopped. No gain. We'll bring up 4th and 3. The clock moves inside of 2 minutes. Jason Myers, big number 78, making the stop for the Bellaire Big Reds.
Take a look at here. You can see the penetration coming out, big number 78 there from his defensive tackle spot. He just came right past the offensive guard and got into the backfield and really caused havoc for that play there.
6 foot, 238 pounds, Jason Myers. Good-sized player. One thing about Bellaire, Coach, it seems like everybody's about the same size. It doesn't seem like you go from your line and you have a big line. As the ball gets away, and Tusky Valley Trojans will look it down at the 16-yard line. They do. That's where Bellaire will take over 1st and 10 on the Sports Homes Incorporated scoreboard with 1:25 to go in the quarter. 0-0, Tusky Valley and Bellaire. Back to the WTOV9 game. We can hear any chattering in the background. That's probably George Kellis down on the sidelines. It is cold and wet here at Harding Stadium in Steubenville as Richie Mamie carries out to about the 18-yard line. But rain, snow, freezing rain, Coach. They've put some drying substances down on the field, but not much in the way of help from the cold and the wind.
No, not at all. And just like you know, it's this time of the year, the kids got to be ready for this kind of weather. I'm sure Tusky Valley's played the last couple of weeks and had some wet weather up there too. We know Bellaire's played in a couple weeks of playing in some pretty good rainstorms. We had them against Brook there 3 weeks ago in the rainstorm. So everything down on that field, you know, it's down there for both ball clubs. So let's just see what happens here. Bellaire has got to get their offense moving a bit. They have a receiver wide open.
Davis the pass. Kinder has it at the 38-yard line. Written out of bounds at the 40 for a big first down. And it goes for big yards on the tackle. It's Eric Parson, number 23, the defensive back on Kinder, the tight end. And Dusty Kinder, he had an outstanding season, and here he makes a nice catch on a big play.
Great job by the offensive line. Jose really had enough time back there, Bill, to dance a little Irish jig back there as he steps up and just waited and waited until that big tight end came clear through there. And Dusty came in there wide open in that seam and bring the ball to the 40-yard line. Counteraction to Mamie.
Mamie spins, taken down after maybe a gain of a yard. That might be a little bit too generous on the tackle, number 35, Dubner, for the Trojans of Tusky Valley.
As we take a look at it right here, you're going to see him trying to follow his big offensive line across there, Jason Myers and Tony Vingia, and Tony just missed the young man right there by Tusky Valley not being real big out there, Bill. They're extremely quick though along that line, and that is the end of the first quarter. We take a look there at the Bellaire brain thrust. They're going to try to huddle these guys up and find a way to get the ball moving here against the Tusky team that we started to say, they're not a huge ball club, Bill, but they look awful quick along that defensive line out there.
And very determined tonight as they have it scoreless after 1 quarter play here at Harding Stadium in Steubenville. They'll march down the other end of the field and get things set. Right now we're going to go down to George Kellis. And George, the first quarter is come and gone out of the books. And I would imagine if you're a Trojan fan, you have to be real happy as your team hanging in, and it's scoreless, and that has to be a confidence build.
Well, the shorter, Billy, that the Tusky Valley makes this game, the better their chances are. It was 0-0 when we started. Now there are only 36 minutes left in this football game, and the score is still 0-0. And that's one of the things Bellaire is going to have to deal with. They have not had that feeling of anxiety all year because, with the exception of the Lindsley game, where they were behind 21-12, they have had things all their own way. This is do or die. If you lose this football game, you know that everything goes up in smoke. So we'll see how poised Bellaire remains if, in fact, they encounter any more frustrations out here.
Thank you, George. And we take a look at the Schwartz Homes Incorporated scoreboard. Tusky Valley 0, Bellaire 0, and we'll be right back.
To the WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week. Jose Davis goes back and fires it across the middle to Taylor, and Taylor hangs on for the catch and the first down. Coach stretches out nicely.
Real good hands. Benny Taylor all year long, Bill, come up with big plays like that. The receivers for Bellaire are not the fastest kids down there on the field, but they got awful good hands and run precise patterns for Jose to know they're going to be in a certain area.
Davis to throw again. Quick look. Taylor on the outside across the 40 and dives ahead to about the 38-yard line of the Trojans. And Taylor came in, coach, 36 catches, 381 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the season. So he's had a productive year for the Bellaire Big Reds.
Yes, Ben's a real good-looking junior right here. You see Jose just on a 3-step drop, and Ben running a 5-step, the old button hook, and just dropping down as he sees the people coming, getting ready for the contact as Josh Dudmer came in here and laid the leather to him. 2nd down and 1 for the Big Reds from the Trojan 38-yard line. Bobby Roth.
Roth down to about the 35 and have the first down. First and 10, just inside the 36-yard line.
This is a drive that George was mentioning down there as we was down to him at the quarter break, Bill, that Bellaire needs some points right there out of this drive to go ahead and get themselves in a comfortable position that they're used to being in, that they don't like to play the even ball games really and be behind, so they want to score first and put some pressure on Tusky's offense.
Davis to throw. Taylor again spins for the first down yardage and a little bit more. So on first down, Davis hits Taylor for the first down. We go back down to the field and George Kellis. George?
Well, fellas, in the first quarter, Bellaire had the wind coming toward them, and some of Jose's passes looked like they were sailing, sort of like a frisbee. Here in the second period, the wind is at their backs, so I think they will be more apt to have success throwing the football with the wind behind them.
Definitely.
Mamie in the backfield skates away from Trojan defender and spins ahead for a couple of yards to bring up 2nd down and about 7.
Down to the 21. Brandon Burkhardt defensive.
Take a look there at Coach Magistro with Coach Boner and Coach Stoltz talking to him here, trying to get in their favorite plays to the coach. You always get that from the sideline. There's always a play that the line coach loves more than the backfield coach.
Davis to throw again. Although, I don't know if they'll rule it a catch or not, and it's incomplete. Skipped into Mamie, the intended receiver. It'll bring up 3rd and about 7 for the Bellaire Big Reds.
Big 3rd down coming up for Bellaire here, Bill. They don't want to end up with 3rd or 4th down and long. If they can pick up 4 or 5 yards on this play and end up with 3rd down or 4th down in 1 or 2, they'll be real happy. But I'm sure that Coach Magistro is calling something now that's probably going to be in the air, and the guys are going to be curling down the field here about 10 yards, or they're a couple yards past that first down marker.
Bobby Timberlake checks in with the play. 3rd and 7. Davis to throw. Backside pressure. Steps up in the pocket. Spins away from more pressure. Still on his feet. Kinder calling on the far side. Davis doesn't hear him. Davis, don't know if he got there, Coach. Maybe just about a foot short of the first down.
He headed
but a good play to get away from the pressure.
Yes, it was. He spun out there, and Bobby Roth was in the flat as he's coming toward him, and Bobby was blocking there for him and allowed Jose to get around the defender. Right there, you see Sechrest knocking his man down to the ground. And right there's the spin out. He spun out of, who was that? Dorothy spun out of his grasp right here. And now he realizes, where's that first down marker, and try to get to it. Right there you see that it's going to be, as you said, Bill, probably going to be about a foot short, judging by the mark on this side of the field.
Chain gang comes across the field. We'll take a look.
There you go, Bill, close-up view.
And from that angle, we can't tell. Well, the referee lets us know that it's about the length of a football short.
4th down, less than a yard.
Short football.
A little Nerf ball.
A little Nerf ball type, okay. Well, Coach Magistro's already had to play in. I think he realized it was short and already had to play set in as the Bellaire offense was coming up the line of scrimmage, and officials don't have the chain marked yet, so they're going to stand at the line and wait so they put it down.
Bellaire, a number of options and offensive weapons. I think they just keep it on the ground, give it to Mamie behind Roth, let the fullback blast stuff in there, give a big hole.
Well, Coach Magistro and his offensive staff will have time to talk it over as Coach Martini has decided to take a timeout here and send his defensive coordinator out to the field and try to come up with something to stop them.
We're going to take a timeout. Well, there's a timeout down on the field on the Schwartz Homes Incorporated scoreboard. The OV9 high school football game of the week. Nothing scoreless. Big play here. 4th and inches for the Bellaire Big Reds. At the Tusky Valley 20-yard line. Out of about the length of a football for a first down, Coach.
Out of this formation here, well, right there, Jose's went to an audible and changed their formation look there. So let's see. Oh, we got movement.
That hurts. Kinder went in motion, jumped across, and there's going to be a flag. That's going to cost Bellaire some yardage, and that may change the play call.
Oh, I guarantee you that changes the play call, Bill. When you're calling out there 4th down and 6 inches, now you're looking at 4th down and 5. There's definitely going to be some talking upstairs with the offensive staff and decide what you're going to come up with. I look for the same thing that we saw in that 3rd down play, Bill, and that's just going to be to try to flood a situation, zone out there, create something for Jose to go to and let him make the choice out there, because the offensive line has done enough job out there that where they've had time to throw the football. So don't be surprised to see the ball in the air this time.
Timberlake checks in and he splits to the far side along with Taylor. Kinder stands on the near side. Kinder blocks. Davis. Oh, and he had his man open. Taylor in and out of his hands, up on his shoulder pad. It falls incomplete. The Trojans go off the field celebrating.
And Bill, the same thing that, you know, we've seen all night long. Jose got plenty of time right there, and the ball
got to catch that
right
one,
there, right there in Benny's hands, and just bounced out of his hands right there. But, you know, Jose had the option to go ahead and run the ball for the first down. He had the receiver there open, Taylor. He had Roth in the flat open out there.
You know how quarterbacks are. You know, throw it first.
Throw it first, run it second. And the ball was on the money, so Tusky Valley survived that threat. See if they can get the ball now deep out of their territory.
Zalapak, a broken play as he holds on and comes up with a gain of about a half a foot.
Yeah,
at least he got back to the line of scrimmage.
There was definitely a mix-up there as we take a look at it here. Watch Zach as he turns around, and all of a sudden he realizes, oops, no one there. Let me follow him up through the hole. And he comes up back to the line of scrimmage, and he got a positive yardage there, Bill. So looking now at 2nd down and 9.5 for Tusky.
Josh Weber, big lineman for the Bellaire Big Reds, comes up with the stop.
Bellaire right now, Bill, desperately wants to put Tusky Valley in a punting situation here and get that ball around the midfield stripe to punch one in here. We got 9 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter.
Pitch, carry out across the 20-yard line on the carry. Big number 44 set third for the Tusky Valley Trojans, and he goes for about 3 on the play. He'll bring up 3rd and 7, Coach.
You're going to see him make here the pitch sweep right here. You're going to see number 35, the inside linebacker for Bellaire, right there. You can see Richie Mamie's their all-time leading tackler down there. He just come up and really put the leather to him, took him down for a 2-yard gain. 3rd down and 7 now for Tusky.
Everhart, third come in motion, set up the power eye. Zalapak looking to throw the football. Back across the field, up into the wind, jump ball, and it's incomplete. Then it'll go to 4th and 8 for the Tusky Valley Trojans. They will have to punt the football away. So the Bellaire Big Reds should get good field position regardless of what happens on this next play.
Right here, you're going to see that ball going deep, and I'm not quite sure who the receiver was. That was number 3. That was Derek Sokar for Bellaire, the defender that jumped there with the Tusky.
Richie Manakoski.
Nope. Well, we take a look at number 60, Jerry Conklin, dropping back for Tusky, the line of scrimmage there, Bill, at the 22-yard line. He's staying on his 10-yard line for the punt. Matakoski and Marling deep.
Low kick, Wynn knocks it down at the 35, but it takes a Tusky roll out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. So Bellaire will get the football on the Tusky Valley side of midfield. Good field position at the 41-yard line with 8:10. Bellaire looking for their first score. We're waiting for the first score of the ball game from either team.
Well, Bellaire got the field position, Bill. They got 40.5 yards to go to get it in the end zone. 8:09 to go and counting in the second quarter, so there's plenty of time. They just got to quit shooting themselves in the foot down here.
Davis rolling to the near side. Pressure, tripped up and throws downfield, and I think Davis may have been across the line of scrimmage when he threw the pass, and there's a flag down late, and that may be the call that Davis went across the line of scrimmage. Beanbag down well ahead of the line marker at about the 39. Line of scrimmage was the 41, and I think it's going to be against Jose Davis for going across the line of scrimmage.
Yes. We'll take a look at it right here. Watch Jose. There's the play action fake. He's going to be rolling to the left sideline and just trying to find a receiver again. He's got the containment broke as the pressure is being applied to him, and instead of just tucking it and running it, he decides to try to hit it downfield to Benny Taylor, and he's definitely across that line of scrimmage, Bill. No doubt about this call.
Big number 65, Kyle Whitling, in the pressure pursuit right here. Gets a hand on his foot, threw Jose off balance a little bit. His ball sailed out of bounds. I'll bring up, see, Tusky Valley trying to decide exactly what they want to do. Well, they decide they're going to take the penalty, step it off. Penalty from the spot, so a 5-yard penalty, and it's second down. Lost it down, second down and 13, so not a bad deal for the Trojans. Not at all. Second down 13, Bellaire. Timberlake and Taylor split to the far side. Kinder stands near side. Davis back to pass. Outside, Taylor wide open. Inside the 30-yard line. That's a first down as he's down at about the 28.5-yard line. Davis hits his man Taylor, who comes up with the reception and the first down.
Yes, as we take a look at this, I just want to throw some names out here. Vingia, Weber, Adams, Myers, and Sechrest. What a job these guys are doing, along with the backfield people of Roth and Mamie, giving him time out there, Bill. I mean, he's really not had in the pocket.
No,
in that pocket, he's had all night long back here.
Davis to throw again, outside to Taylor, cuts it back inside, dives to about the 26-yard line. Check that, 21-yard line. Good gain on first down. Will bring up second and short, and that's where Bellaire likes to operate. Second and short, that opens up the running game and the passing game as Timberlake checks in with the play for Jose Davis. Scoreless, 7:25 to go in the first half of play. Timberlake and Taylor split to the far side. Kinder will stand near side at the tight end position. Davis to throw again, plenty of time. Looks to run, slips, and goes down at about the 28-yard line. That's a sack for sack. And Jose Davis saw a hole open up. Tusky Valley closed it down. That's what we were looking for him to do a few plays earlier.
And I think what Jose saw right there was Bobby Timberlake. Watch to see if he's starting to try to back up. If he sees nothing, now if he starts to run, maybe not. He might have thought he
right there, number 8.
He saw number 8 coming out of there. But Timberlake, just as he started toward the line of scrimmage, made a break back across the end zone, Bill, and he broke underneath the goalpost with no one near him.
When that other colored jersey flashes into your viewfinder, you tend to back up a little bit. Roth on the carry, dives ahead to about the 23-yard line. Fourth and about 4. What do you do?
You know, they've really had success, Bill, in the pocket. You know, every time they've done some play action and got themselves outside here, Tusky's been able to come off the blocks and chase Jose pretty good. So they're going to throw the ball. I look for him to stay in the pocket because Jose's had no pressure at all in that pocket tonight. And so far, his favorite receiver has been number 2, Benny Taylor. So let's keep an eye on number 2 and see where his pattern's going to take him.
Davis to throw it, plenty of time, cross the middle, and it is low. Taylor says he had it. Officials say it is a completion. No one waving the arm, so they give him the completion as he sneaks it in. Good coverage provided by the Trojans. I think it was number 35, Coach, on the coverage. Dubner. We'll take a look at it again and see if we can see it skip in there or not.
Defensively,
Right here, just the ball being delivered by Jose. And again, Bill, there's that talk where he has tons of time. And
I'm not going to see it.
There goes Mamie.
Mamie into the end zone. Touchdown, Bellaire.
No flag, Bill.
And Bellaire will go for a 2-point conversion with 5:42 to go.
All right, we'll take a look at it here as we were right there. Richie Mamie just busting up the middle for another touchdown for the Big Reds. So they jump up in front 6-0 with 5:42 to go in the second quarter. And Bill, you've seen them this year several times. You know right now they're probably going to be shifting themselves into a trip situation here in a flooded area and let Jose roll to it. Here we go.
Mamie goes in motion. He'll roll the same way. Dumps it into the end zone. Taylor goes up, makes the catch. The 2-point conversion is good. Flag down late. They're going to wave the flag off. Wave the flag off. It's a 2-point conversion. 8-0 Bellaire on the Schwartz Homes Incorporated scoreboard. Bellaire 8, Tusky Valley 0.
5:42 to go in the half, and Bellaire has taken an 8-0 lead. And they say that weather is the great equalizer, fellas, and it certainly is. Bellaire definitely is not able to execute its offense as comfortably out here as they have during the course of the regular season. November is not like September, and it becomes a great learning experience. Once you go through something like this, if Bellaire can get through this game, then they can anticipate difficult circumstances the rest of this month. The march to a state championship will not be easy.
It never is, George. It never is. So many teams have come so close, and
every week gets tougher.
Turned away. And week 1, you got to get that aircraft up into the air when you're taking off. And this is week 1 for Bellaire. A lot of people put them as a heavy favorite, and Tusky Valley knows they came in as the underdog. But right now they're playing one heck of a ball game, and they're giving Bellaire all they want. And on the kickoff, good return, still on his feet out to the 34-yard line. Big number 44. That's Seth Durr. And he gets a good return, so Tusky Valley will have good field position out across the 30-yard line at about the 33.
Looks like number 3, Sokar, and number 45, Barity, in on that tackle there on that kickoff for him, Bill, as they've hauled him down there, as you said, at the 33 with 5:36 to go in the second quarter.
Hand off Durr. Nice running room, bounces off a tackler. Timberlake across midfield, still on his feet, and he's in bounds, off to the races, down across the 30, down to the 25-yard line. Oh, what a great individual effort at midfield to shake off the tackler, keep him down, stay in bounds, and pick up about 25 more yards.
Yes, right there, we'll take a look at it right here. You'll watch him right here as you're seeing the trap action going out there with their 2 guards leading the way for him. He makes a cut up through there, nice kick-out block. But Timberlake right here, Bill, didn't wrap on him.
Gotta go low.
Still trying to grab onto him high there and just could not pull him down.
Taylor tackled Timberlake.
Yes, he did. And watch the speed here of some of the Big Reds coming in. Right there comes number 30 from behind, Bobby Roth, catching him, at number 12 from the side, going to bring him down there, Grant Allen.
Hand off, Trojans inside, number 35 on the carry, Dubner. He's down to the 19-yard line, and how big would that be if, as the snow really starts to come down, whipping around? It's maybe just flurries, but it's really whipping around, more of a sleet right now. But if the Trojans could come back and immediately answer the score from the Big Reds.
That's going to be tremendous for their psyche right now, Bill, with 4:50 to go in the half. If they can punch one in here and close it to a 2 or 1 point game or tie it up. So the Big Red defense has got to rise to the occasion now. Right there, it's blitz action, and he just could not miss that big number 78 again. Bill, that's a couple times tonight. You notice big number 78 getting through there. That guard is pulling out there. And we'll take a look here at big Jason Myers. He's just so quick off the ball. Watch him right there coming behind. And he's just a half a step away again from putting him down. So Jason got to flatten that angle out a little bit, Bill, right there, and he'll be making some minus tackles.
Now, Coach Don Sloan has entered the stadium, but Don loves being outside, and I know hunting season's coming up, so he's going to get used to it, but she's coming to Preston. It's a little warmer.
Here we go, counteraction back inside the door.
He's across the 15-yard line. They'll spot him at about the 14, Coach. That could be close to first down yardage. It'll bring up 4th down. And short. If I'm Tusky Valley, I might ask for measurements just to see how much I have to go.
Well, the only thing right now, you kind of got the Bellaire defense on their heels right there.
Don't take a timeout, give them a chance.
No, don't give them a timeout to regroup or anything. And you can tell by the marker there, Bill, that they do got a good length of the football to go. 4th and short 1.
Look for Merrill carry here, number 26.
Merrill, I like Dorr up the middle.
He's out of the ball game. Long count, handoff. No, sir. Stop. Jason Myers, I believe it is, coming through again. And we've got a flag down. It may be a face mask. At least that's what the Trojans are indicating. But he was definitely stopped in time. But it's a penalty flag against Bellaire. It'll be 1st down yardage as the penalty gives Tusky Valley a 1st down.
Going to take the ball down to the 7.5-yard line. See if we can take a look here at that key 4th down play. There, right there, we look at Coach Martini walking back, breathing a deep sigh of relief.
Half the distance to the goal penalty moves the football.
As we said, here's big number 78 getting through there, and
Dubner on the carry, number 35.
But if he had a hand up in that face area
on a wet surface like this tonight, don't you just want straight ahead? You don't want to have that angle run?
No, not at all. You want to go straight ahead. That's why I called that play to the fullback earlier. You said he wasn't in the ball game, but here's the boot action throw. He got a man open.
Roll, touch back on his feet, inside the 10, inside the 5, down about the 4-yard line. The Trojans knocking on the doors. They pick up big yardage on 1st and goal. It'll be 2nd and goal from about the 4-yard line.
Yes, take a look here at Zalapak as he comes with the play action to the top of the screen there. And if we can see in the end zone what he's looking at, he got a receiver jumping up and down wide open. And I just don't think Zach could see him there behind the rush was coming. So he just tucks it down and takes it down inside the 5-yard line as Coach Magistro is looking on for his defense to hold on here.
Handoff inside. Dorr going up inside the 3 to about the 2-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal from about the 2.
Josh Weber leading the Bellaire.
So right now we're looking at 3rd down and goal from the 2-yard line, and we're just going to keep banging inside, Bill. They've run that little counter action back there with real good success tonight. So we'll look for that fullback to be diving in one way.
That wind is blowing.
Look at this, Bill. Wow. No, he's coming out here with double wing. Of course, they may shift. And we're going in motion.
And off fullback, and he is close to the goal line. No signal yet. They'll mark him down inside the 1. 4th and goal from inside the 1 on the carry. Merrill, the fullback. I'm running Merrill again.
Coach
right
Martini
behind my
got a timeout right there. It was a different look that the Bellaire defense hadn't seen before. There was a ace backfield. They brought the man in motion across and then sends the fullback straight up through the middle here.
Tell you what, the flags are just starch, Coach.
Mamie grabbed him low by the ankles, just couldn't quite make the contact to keep him from getting in that close. And as you said, the wind is howling here at Steubenville's Harding Stadium, Bill. Look at that. Oh,
freezing
boy.
rain, snow, whatever you want.
I'm just glad my name is not George Callis tonight.
Let's see what's going on tomorrow. Bill Cowers show at 5:30 a.m. And you can talk about the Steelers. I'm sure we'll talk about the Browns situation. News 9 Sports Sunday. George Callis will talk about all your high school football teams. We'll also talk about the Wheeling Thunderbirds. We'll be on WTOV9 later on that day. NFL on NBC. It's Cincinnati and Houston. That starts at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And, of course, you have the World Cup of Golf at 4 o'clock, I'm sure, from some sunny climes somewhere. And it'll be the Erie Panthers and Wheeling Thunderbirds Sunday night at 6 o'clock right here on WTOV9. Live Tebow in the half. 8-0 Bellaire. Tusky Trojans, 4th and goal from inside the 1. Zalapak rolls, looks to pass, has a man open. Touchdown, Tusky Valley.
Nice call by Coach Martini there. The Bellaire defense is definitely looking for the ball on the ground, Bill, and Zalapak come out there and
Seth Dorr
right here.
Zalapak on the pass, and Coach hangs on.
No one near him, and looks like they're going to go ahead and kick Bill, and yes. And Coach Martini is going to call a timeout here, maybe think the situation over because being down
Coach Magistro called the timeout.
Oh, did he? Well, I know Coach Martini, I saw him right there. He was trying to get a timeout call also. So,
I think they credited Bellaire with a timeout.
They will charge each with half of one.
Okay, that works.
Okay.
Works for me. George Kellis is down on the field. George, you were down close to the Trojans all the way down the field. Some big ground attack, and then the surprising pass for the touchdown. Trojans must be sky high right now.
Well, they'd have to be, Bill. And I'll tell you what, this reminds me of the opposite of a situation involving St. Clairsville in 1986. They went to Ironton, a big underdog. Nobody at Ironton took them very seriously. And as that game wore on, the weather got worse and worse and worse. And St. C kept hanging in there and hanging in there. And sure enough, eventually St. C overtook Ironton, shocked the entire state of Ohio by winning that game. Bellaire had better get with it, or they are looking at a very uncomfortable second half here in terms of sweating this thing out.
You're right, Bill. And just 2 years ago, the Bellaire team went 8-2 into the first round of the playoff against the undefeated Ursuline team and took them into overtime before falling. Coach Martini has changed his mind. Bill going to go for the tying 2 points.
Ball spotted at the 3-yard line near hash. Zalapak rolls, getting some backside pressure. He's not going to get to the corner. Kinder there. Also getting in there, big number 68, Josh Weber for Bellaire. As the wind howls through Harding Stadium, it's 8-6. The Bellaire Big Reds on top by 2 with 1:22 to go in the first half.
Well, Weber shows some good speed there, catching him from behind, Bill, and I'm sure that put a deep sigh of relief in the Bellaire sidelines. They maintain their 2-point lead. Take a look at here. We got play action going to the right side of the short side. Now Zalapak going to try to roll to the outside, to the wide side of the field. Right here you see big number 68 chasing him down from behind. It's great to see a big man move like that, Bill. So with 1:22 to go, Bellaire's hanging on to a 2-point lead. And Bill, it just looks like the weather out there is getting worse as the game is wearing on. I mean, that flag is yet to go limp on us tonight, and that the snow or hail-like substance coming out of that sky out there is really starting to whip around.
Good night to go home and watch.
Along with Timmy Marlin.
I don't know what. Watch the snow. I guess maybe some. It's a wonderful life. It's
wonderful life.
Good night to watch that movie.
You were talking about all pregame there without Mr. Martini. I know that reminded you.
You got me reminded me of.
Give your quotes.
Of Mr. Martini. You know, George Bailey. He loaned him the money to get the bar and everything in A Wonderful Life, and he had the little establishment. Coach Martini. That's a compliment. I love that movie. And of course, you know, NBC owns the rights to that movie. So later on this winter, you'll see It's a Wonderful Life right here on WTOV9.
Watch it every winter.
It's a great movie. I've got the tape. If you want to come over and watch, come over and watch. Kickoff comes down to the Bellaire Big Reds. They return out to about the 31-yard line. That's where they'll take over 1st and 10. They've their own 31 with 1:18 to go, Coach. Weather's really gotten bad. Do we look for Bellaire to go into a 2-minute offense here and try to get a score? They're going to just be conservative. We've got a 2-point lead. Let's get in the locker room, and they're going to pass the football.
Yes, they are. They're going to try to score. Coach Magistro feels that 1:14 is plenty of time for his squad to get down the field. Jose winds
Davis up. Looking long. Wind behind him. Goes up for Timberlake, and Timberlake can't make the play. And Bobby goes incomplete.
He just couldn't get his feet underneath him, Bill, there to jump the ball with his thighs. They were just going to try to make it a jump ball out there inside the 40-yard line. And you'll see right here, he just can't get himself planted to get up in the air good. Number 17 there for Tusky Valley, applying the defensive coverage. That was Josh Ragon.
Bob Rush, please come to the press box.
Conversation now.
Tell you what, Coach, pretty good crowd on hand for as bad as the weather's been.
Oh yes,
this is one of those ones where it's early enough in the day where the weather's bad where you can go, well, you know, I could probably catch the highlights on television. But a good crowd, both communities turning out for their playoff teams. And of course, at the half, we'll have the Battle of the Bands. Later on, we'll have, as we have a big penalty down on the field that's going to be 15-yarder, and march the ball out to the 45-yard line with 1:05. So Bellaire gets a break there as Tusky Valley called for the penalty. We'll have the Battle of Bands, players of the game, Red Donnelly Scholarship recipients. A lot going on. And later on in this ball game, right now, Dusty Kinder with the catch. Stretches out to about the 46 of Tusky Valley. It'll leave Bellaire short by about 2. It'll be 2nd down and 2. Inside of a minute to go.
As we take the replay right here, Bellaire has called a timeout with 56 seconds to go. Jose stepping up and hitting right there. Kinder on the curl pattern. Going to bring up 2nd down and 2 for the Big Red. Jose coming over here, trying to get behind the huddle there so the wind's blocked away from him and let them big linemen block it. At that time again there, Bill, as that curl pattern was caught there by Kinder, Bobby Roth was coming out of the backfield there in the flat area, and that's twice there that he's been in a situation where they can run the old hitch and pitch. I have never seen Bellaire run that play, but it's always
it's an option.
It's always there, but you know, it just could be a coincidence that because Roth does check the linebacker blitz, then he slips out into the flat area. So this could be both times that he's been in that flat area where the ball's been thrown. So with 56 seconds to go, Bellaire's going to try to cover this 46 yards very quickly and really put a knife into the ego over there on the Tusky sideline.
2nd and 2. Davis the pass. Wind at his back. Plenty of time. All kinds of time. Now the pressure on Davis. He'll roll to the corner, trying to get away. Gets rid of it, and it is incomplete. Timberlake trying to play tightrope down the sideline. Tried to lean into out-of-bounds territory and bring it back in. Wasn't able to do it. Came up with a face mask full of dirt for his efforts. And he's still got a chunk of terra firma in the old face. Yeah, he's got a big old chunk in there. They're going to have to wipe it off. Yes,
we saw right there, number 23 going back for Tusky Valley. Eric Parson on the coverage there, and he was trying to get the mud off of his hands. He got his gloves on out there, and he's just trying to get the mud off so he can get some feeling back on there. 3rd and 1 now for Bellaire. 45 seconds to go.
And off Mamie in the secondary, still on his feet. Big gain down to the 30-yard line and a 1st down.
Clock will stop as the chains move. Bellaire's back up on the line of scrimmage, Bill. So real good time for them to take a practice run here. Their 2-minute offense.
Well, they took the timeout on the extra point Tusky Valley took. And I don't recall if they took one earlier, but they may be out of timeouts for the half. Davis back to pass again, outside corner for Taylor. He is upended and out of bounds. So he gets out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down at about 6. Maybe a long 6 closer to 7.
Pretty good job there, Bill. The ball was spotted down with 40 seconds to go, and it's out of bounds with 32. So it took him 8 seconds to get that play off.
Not bad at all. Take a look at it here. 2nd down and officially on the scoreboard 5, but it looks longer than that as Timberlake checks into the game, gives Davis the play. Timberlake and Taylor will split near side. Kinder will stand at his tight end position far side. Look for Davis to roll near side. Straight drop, looks downfield, looks across the middle for Mamie. Great catch at the 5-yard line. Finds the ladder and pulls it down.
And Coach was just showing the old grounding signal, Bill, the play that you don't like out there. We'll take a look at this right here. They're just going to be grounding the ball. Jose steps up and watch this catch by Richie. Oh, stretch it out, bring it down.
Davis lines up, grounds the ball, stops the clock with 24 seconds to go.
Real good job right there to stop the clock. Everyone up there ready to go, and I know you're shaking your head no, but as a head coach who preferred the offense over the defense, I really like that call, being able to do that. As number 14 here, Jerry Amirati's coming into the play.
On the other side of the field,
I despise that. I despise that call out there, but as an offensive coach,
I think you force him to run the play. I'll never agree with that.
I know.
I don't like the spiking of the football.
24 seconds to go.
Unless you're in the end zone doing your dance. 2nd down and goal.
Richie
Mamie, and he'll be stopped inside the 3 at about the 2.5. We have a timeout, and that's got to be the final one for Bellaire now with 19 seconds to go. So they'll go and talk about it. I'm sure they'll talk about a couple of plays if they don't get in on the first try.
Yes, they will, and the Bellaire offensive team is hustling over here to the sideline and get in the huddles. We take a look here at that last play, trying to catch them off guard. There's Bobby Roth, the fullback, leading up through behind Big Matt Adams, the center, and not quite sure, looked like number 60 down the bottom of the pile there.
Jeremy Conklin making the tackle for Tusky Valley, the Trojans.
Trying to catch him thinking pass as the clock was running down before half and run that quick draw up the middle. So I'm sure they knew that they had that timeout left, so that play wasn't there, that they can come back down to the sideline and still have 2 downs available to them. And Bill, in this situation with Jose's ability to evade people out there, I look for him to go ahead and try to get him to the outside here and give him the option of run or throw. 19 seconds. There's plenty of time. They don't have to be in a hurry. All you got to do is make sure that they don't get tackled into the field of play. So I'm sure Coach John there on the sideline has told Jose, you know, if you're not going to score, make sure you throw that ball completely out of the end zone, stop the clock, so we have one more chance. And you look at Coach Martini on their sideline, nervously pacing, trying to keep the Big Reds out.
3rd and goal from the 2. Taylor comes in motion to the near side. Davis will roll that way. Davis still on his feet. He's going to try to run it in. He'll dive for the goal line and get there. Touchdown, Bellaire.
Excellent choice, Jose. He had receivers open, but in this weather, Bill, in that wind, the best thing to do is tuck that ball and dive across that goal line for the 6 points as he comes up there, as you said, with the face full of mud right here. Good blocking by their offensive left side, allow him to break the containment. And right here, he makes a decision. I'm going to get in.
If you're a defender, you've got to come up and defend the goal line. They stood in the end zone looking to catch him. You've got to come up and make the play.
Especially in this weather, Bill, go ahead and make him make that throw, because you never know in this kind of weather what's going to happen. As P.J. Bomber is getting ready to kick out of the hold of Bobby Timberlake.
Snap down, and it is up and no good. Wide right, so it'll remain 14-6, an 8-point lead for the Bellaire Big Reds with 14 seconds to go in the first half. Bellaire scores. Jose Davis from 3 yards out. He goes in for the touchdown, and on the Schwartz Homes Incorporated scoreboard, Bellaire 14, Tusky Valley 6 will stay here. And someone down on the field right now talking with the Nacho Man, George Kellis. George, what's going on?
Well, Don Sloan and I are just standing here talking about, you know, the Bellaire kicking game. We know that it has had its problems all year, and they had a chance to get that 9-point lead right there. But the key element right now is that the Reds, despite the fact that a lot of things, including a nightmare scenario for them in terms of the weather, they would still have an 8-point lead going in, and it only took them 1:25 to put that touchdown on the board right there. So they moved the ball some 65, 70 yards
George,
in a hurry. And if it sounds like I'm slurring my words, it's because my lips are frozen, Bill.
George, I want you to grab Don and see if he's right next to you. See if his ears are cold.
Let me see. Let me give him a noogie here and see if his ears. He's all right.
The Nacho Man.
That is George inside that.
You can't even tell.
Mask there.
Looks like Jabba the Hutt, or no, Jabba the Hutt didn't wear the hood. That'd be the Emperor, actually. That Darth Vader used to.
Darth Vader, that's right.
Kickoff comes down, and Gore, and he's across the 30-yard line to about the 35. Clock inside of 9 seconds. Well, it stops at 9 seconds. Inside of 10 seconds. 9 seconds to go in the half. Tusky Valley come out, and I got a feeling they're just going to take a knee.
Yes.
No point in messing around with it.
No. Johnny Kelder getting up off the bottom of the pile there for the Bellaire special teams, and the clock is running, Bill. They probably won't even come out of the huddle.
Well, they're not going to. They're going to step in, tell each other we've got 1 half to go. We're in this ball game. Clock's out. They're going to go to halftime down 14-6. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with a battle of the bands on the Schwartz Homes Incorporated scoreboard. Bellaire on top, 14-6. 14, Tusky Valley 6 after 1 half of play. And down on the field right now, we have our CA House Music Battle of the Bands. And down on the field right now, it's the Tusky Valley Trojan Marching Band.
Keeping with the long-standing tradition, we open tonight's halftime show with the St. Louis Blues March. Our majorettes, Janet Hawes, Tiffany Berry, Teresa Jones, Rachel Knotts, and Jenny Tarr will light up the sky while the band plays Big Noise from Winnetka.
Take a timeout. Bellaire 14, Tusky Valley 6 at the half. COV9 high school football game of the week. Schwartz Homes Incorporated scoreboard 14-6. Bellaire on top of Tusky Valley at the half. Down on the field now for our CA House Music Battle of the Band. It's the Bellaire Marching Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, the pride of the all-American town, the Bellaire High School Big Reds Marching Band.
We need to take a time out. The Battle of the Bands, sponsored by CA House Music.
Equalizer in these situations. This is a mess out here. What did you tell those kids at halftime?
Well, we told them there's some things we can do offensively that we haven't taken advantage of. You can see they're trying to pinch us down inside and trying to keep Jose from moving outside. Or, you know, on a field like this, they've been successful at it. But we made a couple adjustments we're going to try this after. And our defense, we only gave up 2 big plays, and it was a costly one.
Right. And you win championships with defense. In the month of November, when it's like this, your defense has got to rise up and win ball games for you if you're going to be a champion, fellas. And Bellaire's defense has certainly played well so far, and are going to have to continue to pick up the pace in this messy, miserable.
Thanks,
Okay,
George. I'll tell you what, he came up at halftime, took the jacket off, the gloves, looked nice and comfortable. I said, George, you're going down to get Coach Magistro before the 3rd quarter, aren't you? He said, yeah, okay, I'll go down. My bet is I want to see how long he lasts down there.
Well, he's down there talking to Ben Taylor. Hope he doesn't give Ben any bad hints. Well, let's go with the Big Reds will be kicking off Bill here to start the second half. Tusky Valley receiving to our left. And
Everhart back deep at the 10.
They'll be going into the win the second half right now. Belaire's going to be kicking with the win at their back.
Football, mental game at the half. Bellaire comes up with a big score to go in 14-6. How important it is for Tusky Valley to come out here, maybe not score right away, but at least establish themselves offensively.
They got to establish themselves offensively, and they want to get some movement with the football here to put Bellaire down deeper into territory. They're going to have that win at their back. You know, Jose's going to be putting up that win at his back in this 3rd quarter. P.J. Balmer.
Overhand kick. Everhart comes up off the shoulder pads. He'll pick it up at the 20-yard line and dive out to about the 22-yard line. Good coverage. Everhart came up a little bit too quickly, bounced off the shoulder pads, and that's where Tusky Valley will start. 1st and 10 from their own 21.
That's what Coach Martini on that Tusky sideline did not want to start down deep in his territory. Take a look at here, the high kick from P.J. Balmer, and the ball just carried a little more with that wind than he was expecting there and hit him high on the pads, and he's just glad to get it recovered there to give it to him 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line.
Handoff, number 44. That's Dorr. Seth on the carry, stacked up on the tackle. Josh Weber, big number 68. Coach, you want to talk about a ground game? How about the Ohio State Buckeyes earlier today against Illinois? Eddie George racks up over 300 yards of rushing in a huge win for the Buckeyes. And in a couple weeks, they play Michigan, and if they can get past Indiana, that game against Michigan will be for a trip to the Rose Bowl. And where are you going to find that game, Coach? Right here on WTOV.
No doubt. 2nd and 9.
Well, you had to think about it. What were you thinking about? 2nd down and 9 for the Valley Trojans. Tusky Valley.
Boot action.
Zalapak rolling out, and there's the defense again coming up quickly. It looked like Dusty Kinder finished them off, but it looked like Josh Weber, 68, in there again, really putting the pressure on early, and then Kinder cleans up upstairs.
Yes, we'll take a look at it here as we see big number 68. As you said, Josh Weber applying the pressure to him, and number 30, Bobby Roth coming in there. And as you said, big number 10, Mr. Kinder really comes right there, clean him up good. 3rd down and long 7 now for Tusky. Picks up some yardage there, Bill, and kept $50 in the Kroger coffers right now.
Kroger, of course, sponsoring a sack for a sack with the Salvation Army. Inside handoff. Out to about the 28-yard line. Durr out to the 28-yard line. Number 44, Seth Durr, to the 28-yard line. Will bring up 4th and about 3, and Tusky Valley will have to kick it away. And the Bellaire Big Reds faithful stand and cheer in unison, saluting the defense. Now they want their offense to get something started.
Real good job there for Coach Stoles and his defense to hold them right here. What Coach Martini don't want to do is to be able to punt this ball into the wind right now, as Matarkowski and Marling are back deep. And the Big Reds are just going to get away with the ball. It's going to fall short. They'll not even cross the midfield stripe.
Bellaire Big Reds will have good field position for their first possession of the second half. 9:24 to go in the 3rd quarter. They lead it 14-6, and they'll have the ball at the Tusky Valley 48-yard line.
Well, let's see what kind of adjustments Coach Magistro and the offensive staff came up with at the halftime spot here, as they're going to have a short field to cover now. 47 yards to go to pay dirt.
Hand off Mamie straight ahead for about 5.
Running behind the right side there, big number 71, Tony Vingia leading the way over there for him from his tackle spot.
Andrew Smith and Josh
Bobby Roth leading up for him there. Right, you just see Richie just hesitate and let the hole open up for him, and he hits the crease full tilt. 2nd down and 5 for the Big Reds from the Tusky Valley 42-yard line.
It's a gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
Hand off. Mamie, short gain of a couple to bring up 3rd and short. A flag comes in late, and it may go against Bellaire. Looked like one of the officials pointing at number 68, Josh Weber of the Bellaire Big Reds.
Well, Bill,
we'll have to wait for the call.
Like we've said all year long, anytime that flag comes out, no face mask against Bellaire.
Maybe when he was blocking, got a hand up into defensive player's face mask area, and it'll go against the Bellaire Big Reds.
But anytime you see that flag coming out of that the umpire's pocket there, Billy, normally you can count on a hold call, and right here is the one time where it went against us, and got a face mask call against the Bellaire blocker. Well, that flag looked like it's blowing harder 3rd quarter, Bill, than it did early in the game.
The wind has really picked up. Well, there it is. George Kellis down, coming up off the field, halfway up the stairs. Gives me the signal. He said, "That's it. Take me out of the ball game. I'm coming upstairs."
We got a chair up here for you, George.
George, what's going on in the crowd? Everybody happy down there?
That's lovely, Billy. They're all having fun. It's a picnic. People get their picnic baskets. What, are you crazy?
Davis across the middle, Mamie, and he's going to have it up for the 1st down to the 35-yard line.
Bill, same situation we saw in the 1st half of the Big Reds, that Jose can drop back in that pocket, give again credit for that offensive line. Right here, look at him. He can just step up and deliver. Nice throw, good hands by Richie. 1st down and 10 for the Big Reds from the Tusky Valley 34-yard line.
Take a look at Taylor. He dives across the 25-yard line for a good gain on 1st down of about 8 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and short. And George Kellis has reached the press box and being told to make sure that he keeps his equipment on so he can just work right out of the press box. But he's had enough. He's out of the weather, out of the cold. He's an absolute mess.
Right here, Jose. Again, just a quick curl outside by Ben for a 5-yard pass, and he runs forward for 4 more. Going to bring up 2nd down and 1 now for the Big Reds from the 25 of Tusky Valley. Mamie on a draw.
Looking to get to the outside. Good play coming up quickly. Number 17 at the 1st down, but it could have gone for bigger yards. Tusky Valley getting some defensive support. Drag on number 17. Also in on the play number 35, Dubner. And we take a look out of the replay, Coach, and if Mamie can get around these two, he may be off to the races.
Yes, we picked our cameraman out there on the draw action in there, and Richie had nowhere to go inside. The ball was supposed to be run off the left-hand tackle there, and they pinched down inside and jammed it. He bounced to the outside. As you said, they pulled him down before he got underway. Jose, quick hitch again.
Davis, Taylor, and he'll be stopped at the 20-yard line. They'll probably spot him down at about the 19. And it will bring up 2nd down and about 7. George, how you doing?
Okay,
you're on. You're all set. Yeah.
Oh, you know, the one thing you guys can't tell from up here
you're
right
now. You're a lot warmer, aren't you?
Yeah, this is nice. The one thing you guys can't tell from up here is how much the wind is becoming a real problem down there. It's a lot worse. And these kinds of passes that you see right here to Taylor, the line drive type pass is going to work. But if they start lobbing the ball up in the air, I'm going to tell you those things are going to float for a half hour.
Davis back to pass. He's going to throw, and a little air underneath it, but he finds Kinder for the touchdown. Just enough air, George, to get the TD in the corner. Dusty Kinder, the big tight end, hauls it in, and it's a 20-6 ball game with 6:33 to go as all kinds of stuff is flying around.
And it's going now back away from the 2 receiver side. They've been throwing that ball over here to Taylor, and his split part there, that was either Allen or Timberlake or Amirani. And this time they went to the backside, had the tight end run a post pattern, flag pattern, excuse me, out of that tight end spot as Bellaire's going to let him go for 2, Bill.
Davis under center, rolls far side. They flood the area. Mamie wide open. 2-point conversion is good. 22-6. And wow, the snow's coming down. The confetti's coming down in the Big Red stands. That's what I saw before on Canton Country 95-9. The scoreboard 22-6. Bellaire over Tusky Valley.
Look at the blocking by that offense.
14-6 lead. Come out in the second half. Boom, they're down the field again. They get the touchdown. That momentum squarely on the shoulders of Bellaire.
They've taken advantage of the wind, Billy, if I can jump in right here.
Yeah.
I mean, they've scored all 22 of their points in the second and third periods and have taken advantage of the wind. So that is the one thing that Tusky Valley will have in the fourth quarter, but Bellaire will have apparently, you know, a lead of some sort.
But it works more in Bellaire's favor, George, as Tusky's not really a throwing team, and Bellaire is, so that's why it's so important right now, again, for Tusky to be able to get something going on the ground and take some time off the clock.
Goes through the hands of Everhart. He drops it at the 3-yard line. Now at the 5, has it. Gets away from one tackler, across the 10, still on his feet. Good return after a very dire situation was developing down around the 3-yard line. On the return, as I mentioned, it was Ben Everhart, and that's 2 kickoffs in a row that he's had problems, Coach, hanging on the football.
Yes, we take a look at him back here, and luckily he dropped the ball there as he went to his knees and got back up and picks it up now. And he's going to try and make his way up the sideline here. And number 7 for Bellaire, Jeremy Lemley, is going to come in and put the right here, fights off the block, and Jeremy brings him down right there inside the 20-yard line. Bill, where we are looking at the 16?
At about the 16-yard line, we have an injured Tusky Valley Trojan down at about the 27-yard line on the far side of the field. He is being attended to right now, and can't get a number as of yet, but an injured player down, and the concern now for that player as the Valley Trojans send on a couple of substitutes for their offense as they get ready to run the offense down on the field. That's big number Smith. Number 8, Andrew Smith.
Yes, and as we were saying there, Bill, as the kickoff got underway there, it's so important right now for Tusky Valley to get some first downs and run this 6:24 off the clock and not give the ball back to Bellaire and Jose with the wind at his back here in this third quarter. Pitch to the outside.
Quick pitch.
They're
out across the 20-yard line to about the 21. Gain of about 5 on the play, Coach. Second down and 5, so good situation.
Number 83, Bobby Timberlake, getting up off the bottom of the pile there. We'll take a look at it here. Picked up good yardage on first down to Dorr. Dorr's an awful hard runner. We saw that long run he ran earlier there for Tusky Valley right there. He just runs over Timberlake, and Benny Taylor helps finish him up right there. But this time, Timberlake did take him down. 5:47 to go in the third quarter. Worked one time, tried again.
They're getting across the 25-yard line out to about the 26.
Like big number 68 getting off the bottom of the pile again, Josh Weber, and on top there finishing him up with the linebackers, Bobby Roth and Richie Mamie. Third down and 1 for Tusky Valley, and for Coach Martini, this is a real important third down call right now. They don't want to again be punting that ball inside of his 20, out from inside of his 20-yard line against the wind. Give the ball to Bellaire, a good field position.
Quick pitch again, same play, same result, about 5 yards. It goes for the first down out across the 32-yard line. Coach Tusky Valley getting the ball moved down the field, at least out from the shadows of their goalposts.
Yes, and again, the important thing is that clock's turning, Bill, and we'll take a look at the replay here at the pitch to Dorr. Leading the way up there for him is his fullback, Wendell Merrill. Bobby Roth holding on. Ben Taylor helping to clean him up. But first down for Tusky as they're trying to move down the field, Bill, get themselves back in the ball game.
Pitch again, same play.
A little confusion there in the backfield. The left halfback came across there and almost got in the way, and the quarterback there, Dak Salpak, had to hesitate before he pitched the ball back there to Seth. This time Bellaire held him for a 2-yard gain.
Second down and 8, 4:30 to go, third quarter, 22-6. Bellaire on top, trying to come up with a defensive stop.
Well, let's see if Coach Martini goes to the well one more time, Bill. He's running 3 straight times. Let's see how the fourth one goes. No, fullback.
Inside handoff, fullback, straight ahead, out across the 40, down to the 42-yard line. Big number 26, Merrill, coming up with a nice gain out to about the 41-yard line. 3rd and short now for Tusky Valley.
We'll take a look at here. We'll see Wendell Merrill, the big fullback, just coming up in the middle on that trap. You saw the left guard pull across there, and that was number 60, Jeremy Conklin, making a key block there for Tusky to give him the yardage, bringing up 3rd and 1. Another key 3rd down call for them.
There's the pitch. 1st down out to the 45-yard line for Tusky Valley, and the ground game really working, George, for Tusky Valley as they continue to pound away at that defensive line.
Well, they run the swing tee pretty well, and it's well documented that Bellaire had some problems against the one-wing team that they faced earlier this year, Billy, and that was West Holmes. West Holmes had a lot of yardage, and it wasn't until the second half that Bellaire was able to take control. I think it was 34-21, is that right? Or something like that, 34-21.
Very close. I know
34-21.
West Holmes had well over 200 yards, and you said, George, most of those was in the first half. Pull back again, Merrill in the middle.
Dive straight ahead out to about the 47-yard line. That's where they'll spot it. 2nd down and 8.
You fellas might find this somewhat interesting. I did a little calculating over here. It's been written up that Tuscarwaras County teams have had this albatross in the playoffs. It's something like 0-11 collectively. I can tell you that Belmont County is 9-7 in its history. 4 schools have made the playoffs from Belmont County, and that would include Ty Fleming's 2-2. Thanks,
Quick
bud.
pitch again out to the 50-yard line.
Stops short of the 50.
Number 44 on the carry.
Seth Door again. He's a workhorse back here.
To the midfield stripe, just about to bring him 3rd and 6.
Take a look here at the backfield. They are in their power eye, and just the pitch to the tailback door with his 2 buddies leading the way up through there for him. That's Merrill and Addy. Sit back to the same formation for them.
Everhart at the tail, handoff inside. Deere's going to go to the 49-yard line of Bellaire. Going to bring up 4th down. Now you're down 22-6 with 1:50 to go in the 3rd quarter, Coach. What do you think?
Well, as we take a look here at Bubba, Sechrest making a key stop here for Bellaire on 3rd down. Coach Martinez is going to go ahead and make the decision right now. He has got to go for it, down 22-6. He does not want to give that ball back to Bellaire with 1:33 to go in the 3rd quarter. So, you know, Billers know tomorrow you're not going to come get ready to play next week, so you might as well go ahead and get all you got right now.
Now they're going to punt the football. At least that's what they're going to do. They're going to line up to punt the football. Bellaire's not buying. Looks like Bellaire's just going to let them go. There's the fake, and it's not going to work. Bellaire snuffs it out. Everybody in the stadium saw that one coming. Jason Myers, and it just didn't look right. It didn't have a feel of a punt. Didn't think it was going to happen. Neither did Bellaire. We're going to take a timeout. Canton Country 95-9 scoreboard. It's Bellaire 22, Tusky Valley 6. In the hands. That's the 2nd time tonight he's dropped the football. We're going to take a look at the fake again. George, you weren't buying. Coach, you weren't buying. No one was buying on that one.
No. And Bellaire never even had a deep safety for the punt, so they anticipated that was going to be a fake all the way. And it wasn't a bad idea, really, by Tusky Valley, because kicking into that wind, you're not going to get much net yardage on a punt anyway, as we've seen. So you might as well go for it or try something on 4th down.
Okay, George, well, you know, I differ with you there. If I'm going to go for it on 4th down, I'm going to run out my offense and go ahead and get my best plays going with it now.
Nice catch that time by Taylor as he lays out and makes the grab. That makes 3rd and about 2.
Well, Benny just made up for the easy one there. Billy made a hard catch there, diving back to the inside to pick that ball up. Right there you see the young man taking congratulations, 6'2", 185-pound junior.
I think sometimes when you're laid out like that and you're trying to make a catch down low, you don't have as much of a fear of getting one in the ribs. The last one, he was planted in the ground, feet down, reached up, exposed all the ribs, and you got to have that in the back of your mind. Maybe someone's coming for him. Timberlake and Taylor split to the near side this time. Davis, quick drop, quick look outside to Taylor. He is wrestled down at about the 38-yard line. He'll have enough for the 1st. And the clock rolling down to 12 seconds. It'll stop as they move the chains. Well, we should get to the fourth quarter without another play being run.
I want to tell you what a tough cookie Benny Taylor is. He's a junior. He has been playing with a partially separated shoulder the entire season, Bill, and they have strapped him together. Literally, you know, his shoulder's just hanging there, and he's still a defensive weapon and an offensive force.
Flag down on the play comes in from one of the line judges as the clock shows triple zeros. I think we're going to go to the fourth quarter.
I think they got that ball off before the clock, Bill, and I can't understand. There had to be some movement on Bellaire's part.
Oh, they set it at 12.
Here we go.
Good ball encroachment against
lined up in the neutral zone. Lined up offside, so they should get, and that's exactly what Coach Magistro's saying. I would imagine they'll get one crack.
We got to
at least get the snap.
We got an untimed
and if I'm Bellaire, I'm going to drop back and I'm going to throw one in the end zone.
Go ahead.
You have the wind with your back.
Exactly right. The penalty is not going to end there on that. Right? Is that George?
That's how George should have done.
Yeah, I'm back on the sidelines, fellas.
Okay, George.
Yeah, that's me, honest. I shrunk a little, but
shrunk a little bit.
A whole lot younger. Davis back to pass. That stands at midfield. Time looks out to the side for Roth. Juggles, catches, and runs over a tackler out to the 35-yard line. He'll be short of the first down on the tackle. Number 35 for the Trojans, Dubner, at the 35-yard line. It'll be second down and about 7, and it'll be Bellaire football when we come back with a fourth quarter of play. On the Canton Country 95-9 scoreboard, it's Tusky Valley 6, Bellaire 22. We'll come back with...
I'm Don Sloan for News 9 Sports. Let's look at the day's high school football scores. Cardinal Mooney over Ursuline. The winner of the game you're now watching will play Cardinal Mooney. Elsewhere, West Virginia, Brooke a winner. John Marshall a winner. St. Albans a loser to Capital, 48-0. Parkersburg over North Marion, 47-0. Valley beats Franklin, 38-6. They'll be in action next week against Moorfield.
And welcome back to the WTOV9 High School Football Game of the Week, 22-6. Bellaire on top of Tusky Valley. And Bellaire currently trying to drive the ball in for another score. Spotted right now at the Tusky Valley 35-yard line. Really, this whole half seems like it's been played inside Tusky Valley territory. And coming up this weekend, George, I'll tell you what, the phone should be ringing off the hook to talk a little football and Thunderbird hockey tomorrow around noon with News 9 Sunday morning.
Well, you haven't seen the show yet. Join us at noon.
Davis looks downfield, the outside for Taylor at the 23-yard line, tries to cut back in at the 20, slips and goes down at the 19 as we take a look at it. And I'll tell you what, that Sports Sunday, George, you've gotten a lot of calls, and never a lack of calls, and always some interesting conversation, some thought-provoking conversation occasionally.
Well, yeah, I mean, we had one gentleman that called and complained about cold chicken one day, and that they were fed at one of the football games. It's real interesting.
George, I've tried to get through to you every Sunday as I sit there on the couch with my coffee. Haven't been able to get through yet.
Now, how do you do that? You get coffee in one hand, donut in the other hand. How you dialing? Oh, you got the speakerphone.
Got the speakerphone.
Okay. All right.
In all seriousness.
How you know I had that donut?
Because you just look like a donut.
Yeah, you look at my weight. That's what you did.
In all seriousness, what Bellaire's looking to do right here, I would think, fellas, is
put it out of reach.
Not make mistakes to let Tusky back in the game at this point. They've got a 16-point lead, which means Tusky needs 2 sixes and 2 two-point conversions to tie. Well, you want to run the clock a little bit here.
Yep. Davis back to pass. Looks to the outside, and it's batted down. Coming in, it looks like it was Merrill, 26. Wendell Merrill got a hand up and knocked him down. You don't run any time with incomplete passes. The clock stops. It'll bring up 3rd and 11.
But that's Bellaire's offense, Bill and George. You know, we've seen him all year long. Right here, he's dropping back and looking downfield, but he's definitely going right down the flat there to Bobby Roth, and just good pressure by the outside linebacker there.
He just came up. The quarterback, get the hand up in the air.
That's right. Fake draw, going deep.
Davis looking at the corner of the end zone for Kinder, and it's knocked down at the last moment.
Ball just underthrown. He had him beat, and that Merrill?
That may have, I don't know. Merrill is the
screen. We can see better on the screen than we can in person.
I think that is Merrill.
4th down.
So Merrill knocks the pass down, then he comes back and plays a little pass defense and comes up with the The knockdown.
Heck of a call, Bill, and I tell you, look right here. See, right there is Dusty's in the end zone. He had him beat, and the ball just slightly underthrown.
Passing into the wind. The wind's going to do some funny things with the football. 4th and long now for Bellaire. Davis back to pass. Looks down the middle for Timberlake. Tipped it! It is incomplete. Ooh. It looked like he got a hand on it for a moment, George, but he couldn't hang on.
And that's one of those situations where Bellaire did some of the things it wanted to do in terms of getting the ball downfield in field position. Even though they didn't get a score right here, Tusky Valley still has a long way to go headed in the other direction. This was almost a brilliant effort. It was a brilliant effort, almost a brilliant reception by Bobby Timberlake. Right?
Yes, Josh Ragon back there got his hands on the ball, but he didn't knock it down. He let it go on back through, and Timberlake during there caught it on the rebound.
Quick pitch, Everhart on the outside.
Bill, as you were talking there at the beginning of the ball game, you know, you back in high school, back in the dark ages, you quarterbacked a
wasn't that long ago.
Wing T offense. We take a look at it here, and that's the one trouble with the wing T offense. With 10 minutes to go in the ball game, and you're down by a couple scores, it's tough to score points quick.
It is. We had helmets back then, Dean.
The leather ones with no basement.
Well, that's why I don't have any teeth.
I'm not saying anything.
I just shove chiclets up in those spots before I go on TV every day.
Jason Mars knifing through there and taking down the ball carrier, I believe, out of the door for a short gain. Going to bring up 3rd down and 4 as you guys discuss your molars.
The problem with the wing T is if you're going to throw the ball, you usually are going to have to roll out, and that can create some problems for the defense, but it kind of limits you in your options when you throw, whereas maybe a more traditional I formation or a pro set is going to give you more options with throwing the football, but in the wing T, you're going to tend to roll out, and that takes up time, and it's not the quickest offense to run. A lot of things going on, but if it clicks and you can't throw interceptions, that's going to be a problem. Grant Allen with the INT, big number 12, comes up and makes the interception. And the one tough thing, especially for a short quarterback, and it's just tough to see over the line of scrimmage when you have big blockers out there. And
right here we see Zach Talapak just faking that counter in there, and Grant Allen just knifed right directly in front of, I believe that was Merrill, that he was trying to throw to there in the flat, and Grant gives the ball back to Bellaire inside the 25-yard line, 9:21 to go and counting.
Handoff, Mamie feeling his way up against the line of scrimmage, looking for a hole. All he finds is 4 Trojans, and he is pushed back. Short gain, if any. It looks like they're going to give him about a yard and a half. So bring him 2nd and long for Bellaire. George, it looks like, at least from that play, that they may go to the ground game and try to run some clock.
Well,
and Mamie has had some real nice success running between the tackles.
Absolutely. And one of the things they're going to have to do is run the football down the road, assuming that they get down the road, Bill. And, you know, what you want to do right now is you feel really good about getting the win under your belt if you can win this game and getting out of here healthy, because big things loom ahead for this team.
And hopefully better weather. Davis, handoff. Roth, he slips down in the backfield, coming in quickly. It looked like Wendell Merrill again, and he has played a nice game this evening. Big number 26 in Conklin, number 60, the linebacker. And there's a look at John Magistral, head coach of Bellaire. And you mentioned, you hit the nail right on the head, George. You don't have to look pretty winning these games. Once you get into the playoffs, you look pretty all season long. In the playoffs, it's just what Al Davis says.
Just a victory. Just win, baby.
Exactly.
That's it, man.
Doesn't matter what they look like. Davis back to pass. Chase from backside, and he is nailed. Jose Davis is nailed, and he is down on the far sideline. Ball goes incomplete, but Jose Davis took a shot, and he comes up shaking his throwing hand. Of course, he has that broken pinky finger. He also looked like he was grabbing for the elbow. But Davis is a tough kid, and we'll take a look at the sack for a sack. And let's take a look at this one again. And if you're a Bellaire fan, you don't want to see this.
No, you don't right here. And Jose's looking there at the bottom of the screen. Looked like that was Bobby Roth trying to slip out into the flat there as big number 51 was putting pressure on him, Brandon Burkhardt, and you saw Jose
incomplete pass, so it's no sack for a sack.
Get lit up there on that third down incomplete pass. 4th and 11 now. Jose's back under the center, so the hand's okay, and he's going to put it back up in the air.
Davis looks downfield, slips out of the hand, and ball is recovered by the Trojans of Tusky Valley.
Yeah, because it was 4th down anyway. But you know, you're looking at a situation here where number 4 is so valuable to you, and I'd be thinking, you know, I know Coach Magistro has done a brilliant job all year in terms of protecting his players and getting guys out of ball games late. And I'm not saying that this game is wrapped up or anything like that, but well, I'll tell you what. Somebody gets after Jose from the blind side and cracks him the wrong way in a situation like this, it could be a devastating loss at this point in the season.
Be an awful good time for Ty Massarelli to come in there, George, take some snaps, get some playoff experience underneath the center spot, because you never know when you're going to need him in there for a play or two. If Jose would get banged up, have to go out for a play. It's a good time to get Ty some snaps in there. Ty's getting the snap defense.
Ball's on the ground, dropped by the Trojans. Bellaire after it, but it looks like Tusky Valley comes over the recovery. Right now, I'm looking down at the sideline, and Jose Davis being checked out by the medical staff of Bellaire, and they are looking at that pinky finger on the throwing hand as he's over, I think, near a heater, trying to warm his hands up.
Making it a loss of 3.
Coach, let me ask you this, because you coached passing-oriented teams. When do you know that it's time to get a franchise quarterback out of the game? I mean, do you ever really know when do you feel secure with a lead?
It's really just a gut feeling, George. You know, in the playoff situation like this, you're always kind of hesitant because you never want to assume you got a game won because there are many strange things have occurred. But when you get down underneath that 5-minute mark and you got a lead like this with 16 points, you're starting to feel pretty comfortable down there.
Merrill on the carry on 2nd down for about 4 yards. Brings up 3rd and 10 for the Tusky Valley Trojans as Jose Davis continues to check out his passing hand. And
Ty Massarelli is taking some snaps down here from Chad Adams, so we may see him.
I think Jose's going to be out, but that's going to be a question that Coach Magistro is going to have to deal with throughout the playoffs. How is the hand of Jose Davis each and every week?
Step back there to sack it.
Josh Weber, number 68, a number of players in there.
Number 60 also in on that play for him, Bill. That's Hutch McFeely.
All year long, we've spent a lot of time praising the Bellaire offense, and rightfully so, fellas. But this is a case tonight where it was almost impossible for them to run the precise offense that we've become accustomed to seeing. And it was their defense that really stepped up and did the job. At least up to this point, they have been brilliant.
Timeout, Tusky Valley.
We're going to take a timeout while we have a timeout down on the field. And on the Canton Country 95-9 scoreboard, Bellaire 22, Tusky Valley 6. 5-9 scoreboard. There's a look at the Bellaire cheerleaders. Some ladies that cheer on their club each and every week, and they've done a good job all season long.
There's the
I'll tell you what, you got
true Indians there, Bill.
Yeah. Some Kellis Crazies. Had a rabbit for the Kellis Crazy last night.
George, do you have that for dinner?
What's that, the rabbit?
That rabbit.
He got away from me up in Boardman.
Salapack on a screen back across the field.
And it is complete, but it's going to be nowhere near the first down yardage that they needed to come up with the first down. So it'll go over on down to Bellaire. Grant Allen, number 12 on the coverage, had an interception earlier in the game. And the Bellaire Big Reds with 5:34. I think they can start to look ahead a little bit to next week. You want to complete the business here, but I think this one may be wrapped up with 5:30 to go. And Bellaire in control of the football at the 30-yard line. For the 27-yard line of Tusky Valley, and in at quarterback is indeed Massarelli, and he will come in to spell Jose Davis, who's down near the heater, trying to keep that hand warm. Hand off, Mamie, straight ahead, short gain for about 3 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
There's no give up in this Tusky Valley team. They're in there battling, trying to control that line of scrimmage, keep Bellaire from running the clock out here. Under 5 minutes to go in the ball game, and as you said, George, when do you ever really know in a situation like this right now? Coach Magistro knows that he's moving on to play a second game.
Well, give Tusky Valley some credit. Bellaire's closest margin of victory this entire season was about, what, 17 points. And if this game ended right now, Tusky Valley would have given Bellaire its toughest joust of the year.
Masciarelli rolling near side. He's going to tuck it and run with it. He's down to about the 21 before he's dragged out of bounds.
That's a sophomore. No, I won't call it a mistake right there, but if he stays in bounds, the clock continues to run, gang.
Yes, yes.
Eric Carson, number 23 on the tackle.
Comes with PT, George, that he realizes right now that, boy, does he look like Joe running that ball out there, his father.
He's going to be a dandy.
Yes, he is. Great name, though, George.
Ty?
Namesake.
Oh, boy. After you, I'm sure.
Roth. And off to Roth. He's inside the 20-yard line, down to about the 18. Close to first down yardage. 4th and about 2 for the Bellaire Big Reds.
Josh Dubner making the tackle.
They certainly have had some moments to savor this year. The first 10-0 in the history of the school. Now, apparently, the first playoff victory in the history of Bellaire and its illustrious 9-decade history. And, I mean, they really believe in their hearts that they can make a run at this thing. But some real tough business coming up next week, maybe right on this same field.
And off to Roth. I don't think he got the first down. I think he stacked up Tusky Valley. Not ready to let the Bellaire Big Reds go home just yet.
No, they're not. They stopped him short there. The officials marked that ball, Bill, on the 18.5-yard line. They had to cross the 18-yard line for the first down. So with 3:36 to go in the ball game, Tusky Valley is going to try to take it back over and see if Zach Salapak can get them moving down the field.
See if the Trojans elect to go to the air a little bit more here.
Please stay off the playing field at the end of the game.
We're seeing more and more clean jerseys come in the ball game for the Big Reds as trying to get some of the younger kids in there and get some playoff experience.
1st and 10 from the 19-yard line for the Trojans.
Pitch back
to the outside, and another tackle made big by big number 78, Jason Myers. He's played himself a nice ball game.
Jason Myers defensively.
Seth Dorr, I tell you what, Bill, even though the Trojans are going to look like they're going to go down to a defeat in this ball game, Seth Dorr is one heck of a running back here, and if he's the second tailback, I can see why Coach Martini was so high on his young man that got hurt early in the season at tailback.
Again, spinning ahead, this time for the first down. The big guy carries again, and the Tusky Valley Trojans looking to march it down the field, and the wind continues to whip even harder through Harding Stadium.
Charles Cole making the
Bellaire will be perfectly content right here to let him run 5 yards at a clip, I would think.
Now, if you look ahead, gentlemen, for the rest of the playoffs, at least for next week, one of the Youngstown teams is going to come out tonight and come up with a win and be pitted against Bellaire. Looks like they're going to go on to a victory tonight as Zalapak goes downfield incomplete, no one home. But you may see one of those two teams come down to Harding and Bellaire come all the way up to Bellaire play right here in Steubenville. It seems like the most logical place to have a Youngstown Bellaire ball game.
Well, a little birdie told me that that's probably the scenario we're looking at, Bill. The winner of the Youngstown Mooney, Youngstown Ursuline game would face Bellaire in this building next Saturday night, same time, and you guys will be in the same chairs, I would imagine.
Be a perfect place to watch a ball game. Hopefully the weather will be a little bit better. Handoff, Merrill, Wendell on his feet, and he has first down yardage out to the 45-yard line.
2:10 to go. Tusky Valley still pounding away out there at the Bellaire defense on the ground and trying to put another one on the board.
15, 1st and 10.
The big thing that Coach Martini has got across this year, Bill, he only had 6 seniors out there playing, so he got a good nucleus coming back next year. And these kids know what it's going to be like to be in the playoffs, so you know they're going to work their tails off to get back again.
Looking to go up top again. Across the middle. Completion. Dorr, he's across the 40. 35 and dives ahead to about the 32-yard line of Bellaire. 1:45 to go. 22-6 our score. Bellaire on top.
Timberlake defensively.
Bellaire reserve defense going to try to dig in this last 1:46 to go and keep the Trojans out of the end zone, but get that ball in Doerr's hands again, Bill. He loves to run over people. He's a tough young man.
Hand off Merrill. Bottom of the pile, number 52 for the Bellaire Big Reds. Panic.
Tusky got to start thinking about taking some timeouts here pretty soon, fellas. I mean, they're going to need a touchdown, a two-point conversion, and then an onside kick. And, you know, I don't know how many timeouts they got left. That wouldn't be
They should have I believe all 3 of them. 1:09 to go. Zalhack to throw. Looks across the middle, and this time Dorr takes a shot at the 18-yard line. He gets up quickly. And the ball goes incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd and about 5.
Number 15 there for Bellaire. Clint Lekanudos really laid the leather to him there, Bill. He had him looking at the ball and had a clean shot at him, and he made him pay for that incompletion.
You're going to have to work on those names of those Greek guys there, pal. That's Lekanudos. You just can't get those Greek names right.
I'm sorry there, Mr. Callis. Look at this.
Zalhack looking to the end zone, and his Zokar across the 5 out to the 10. Still
he gets that sideline.
He's got a wall of blockers.
There's a flag down.
Flag down, man coming in from behind, number 88. Mike Connor coming in from behind and making the stop after the interception. We have a flag down back at about the 7 or 8 yard line.
Great play by Derek Sokar. No, he read the ball completely. The receiver was open in the end zone. The ball was slightly underthrown by Zalhack, and Derek made the break on the ball and picked it off and then cut back across the field and got caught from behind over there. See what the flag is. The flag looks like it's going to go against Bellaire.
Let's take a timeout on the Canton Country 95-9 scoreboard. 22-6 Bellaire. Go 22-6. Still some jousting going on down on the field and up here in the press box. Todd Fleming and George Kellis trying to work things out as we get ready for the second week. Now let's take a look ahead, gentlemen. Next week, we don't know the score right now as we speak. Mooney and Ursuline, Bellaire, how's it match up?
It's going to be really a struggle, I tell you, Bill. Either of the Youngstown teams that come down next week are not going to be throwing ball clubs. They're both big, huge, physical ball clubs. Going to try to line up and pound at you and do the same thing to Bellaire. They're going to try to wear them along the line of scrimmage. Talking to a fellow I know in Youngstown, told me that last week the ball game, Mooney scored first, and at that point, Ursuline said, okay, fine. We're just going to go conservative the rest of the ball game. We'll see you next week when it counts in the playoffs. So tonight will be an awful interesting score to find out what happens if Mooney can back out on top again after coming up 28-0.
George?
Well, you know, we're going to have to get more information on whoever wins the game because I haven't seen either one of them play.
How do they match up from what you've heard with Mooney?
Well, with Mooney, they've only thrown the ball 38 times all year.
So we're looking for big physical football.
They are absolutely smash mouth all the way, and they got 265-pound tackles, and they just cave in your defense.
Now, how about Ursuline?
Ursuline, I haven't done a lot of research on, to be honest with you, Bill. I'd be remiss to even make a comment on them.
I don't think, George, that if it is Mooney coming down here, that Coach Booch runs that stack eye, so the people are going to see the an offensive guard in the backfield that's right behind the quarterback and just lead him up through in there, and they love to pound at you.
The one thing I know we will all look for is weather. Maybe it's going to be cold, a little brisk, but you don't need the big gale force winds, the snow and the rain. You want a relatively dry field and really not so much wind. If it's cold, it's cold. It's November. That's just going to happen. But if we can get a game with not a lot, without the wind and the rain and snow, I think everyone will be happy to allow Bellaire to run their more traditional offense of putting the football up in the air and mixing in the run, which is more of their offense rather than the run mixing in the pass.
Well, a night like this, would definitely favor a strict running, power-oriented football team that's just going to come right at you. This is not an ideal scenario for Bellaire, obviously. I think the sloppy field, 1, and the wind, 2, are the 2 biggest problems in trying to execute this offense.
Tusky Valley came out, strictly a running football team. A good test for Bellaire tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as I said, this will be the closest outcome, and I've tried to explain that to Bellaire fans on my radio program. This thing gets very hairy in November. There are times when you sweat, and games that you sometimes think are not going to be very difficult turn into very hairy experiences, and occasionally a team that you think is going to be your toughest opponent winds up not to be. I mean, it's just, you never know what you're going to run into in November.
At this point in the season, as we mentioned, it's just win, baby. It doesn't matter if they're pretty, ugly, or indifferent.
One thing, though, I do want to make sure I do get across, I know, because a lot of these Bellaire boys are going to be watching it, and that is, please make sure you listen to your coaches this week and realize that you cannot even think right now about going to Massillon.
Oh, my God.
You got to think about winning game 2,
wow.
And don't let people tell you how good you are. You got to go out every week and prove it. And the only way they can get to Massillon is by winning the next week.
Well, they won their first week. The clock's going to wind down. Tusky Valley, a good test for the Bellaire Big Reds tonight. The final score is 22-6. Bellaire is taking their first step towards a possible road to a state title. Step number 1 has been completed. Step 2 is going to be a tough test. This week was not an easy ball game. They've got some more work to do, but they are on their way.
And I tell you what, Coach Martini's awful proud of his Tuskies club on that sideline.
They did a good job.
They came out and did a real good job. You know, we talked to him for the game, and he realized the kind of offensive show that they had, and I tell you what, they were ready